everybody, it is me. We are back, and it has been quite a while. According to this, it's 25 days since I updated this, but that's around the right time. It's about a week after this that it should have been recorded and uploaded. But things happened, stuff broke, and then I didn't rage quit, but I just kind of got frustrated and just stopped doing it for a while. And I intended to release this every single day since then, but once you get out of the habit of recording these and uploading these, it's rather difficult to get back into it. But here we are again. We're getting back to this, and I am going to, after taking my break, I'm going to get back and we're going to start looking at things a little differently today. I'm not going to be doing the disconnect packet as I originally was. We're going to correctly handle some data that we weren't handling in the original one. If you remember back to the last episode, you can also click this button up here to go back to it. But if you remember back, we just kind of got a very, very rough draft of how a login packet would work, and we're going to make that a little more robust today. We're actually going to make it work like it should, because if you remember, actually before I get into this, I just wanted to make this publicly aware to you guys. This Git repository does exist. Here's the link up here, and there's also a link in the description below. Essentially what this is it's a place that you guys can see the code and see the updates. So if you click through here, like if I click on the resource folder, and you can click this and it'll show you the image. You can also open it in a new tab or download it or whatever you really need if you guys are struggling. You can also go back and we can go into the source folder here, and you can go in ca-vanzeven.game, which is my package, and you can look at the classes, game.java, and here's the current up-to-date one. You can also click commits, and it will show you all the commits from when I started this. I started this in episode 15. I should have started this in the beginning. But so you can go back and look at episode 16.2 and see what we added. Everything that's green is what I added, and everything that's red is what was removed, just like that one. You'll also see lines on the side. You'll see little pluses and minuses, the same thing. And here are the line number corresponding to the line numbers over here. This is the old one, and this is the new ones, essentially. So yeah, that's that. I just wanted to make this publicly aware to you guys so that you guys can go and check this code out. To actually get the code, if you know Git, great. If you don't know Git, I'm not going to show you how to use Git, but you can click the zip here, and it'll download it as a giant folder, so you will get all this stuff on your desktop, kind of, or wherever you decide to download it to. If you do know Git, you can maintain this actively and keep this up to date, which is really cool. You can just type in a command into your terminal or into your I don't know, Git bash or whatever you're using, and it will automatically update everything and update all the resources and files. But I won't show that now. There's YouTube tutorials on it if you want to go check that out. I'm not sure how well they are. I may create some of my own if I find them not satisfactory, but they may be fine. So there's that. Let's get into today. Today we're going to beef up our server a little bit, because what we're doing right now, if I run it and talk while it's running, we're just kind of, every new client that connects this, since we already know that they're connecting to our server from our server, we're just adding them back to our game, just so they kind of update for us. So let's hit yes and type in the name, and you'll see Vanzeven's connected, and I can walk around, yada yada yada, and we are running a server. But this is great and all, but that's not good, because the server's handling data management for the clients, which it shouldn't be. That's what this is essentially doing here. Because yes, we're adding it to the server, but then we're also adding it to the game and the level and all that, which we shouldn't be doing, because that's client specific. So we're going to go back and do this, and I did mention that I did this last episode. It was just kind of a quick way, because the episode was getting kind of long, so this was just a quick way to show you guys, but we're going to beef that up today. So first things first, what we're going to do is we're going to get rid of like all of this almost. Actually, not all of this. We're going to get rid of this here. Or we're going to add this, sorry. So just Control X that else line here and put it up here. And just get rid of that stuff. So that's essentially what we're going to do here. Game.level 100 username address port. Perfect. And then you can get rid of this because we don't need that. And we're going to create a new function here. And this function is going to be an add connection function. Okay. And we're going to add the player and we're going to add the packet. Okay, because we need to handle both of them. And we're just going to remove that. Okay. Now we're going to create that function down here. So create method. And it should create it right here. Perfect. What we're going to do with this packet, actually something else I want to do. This packet is local to this switch here, so we're going to make it a little external here. So we're going to move it up here, and instead of doing a packet01 login, we're going to do a packet. And this is a good thing about using classes that need to be implemented and abstraction and stuff like that, because we can essentially call the packet and say that we're going to, this variable is a packet, and then right here we can say it's a 00 login packet. So then we can right here just go we can cast this into that type of packet. Packet 00 login. And just put brackets around the packet so that the packet is being casted. And you'll see that it does update and clears the errors. So that's something that's really nice. We're going to do that. We're not going to add it there. It's only when you need to access data that you need to do this, because it knows in this function that it is a packet 00 login. Oops, packet. There. So there's that. So this .add connections packet, we're going to take a packet. Actually, no, we do need a login packet, so let's just cast that as well. There. So let's go down to this function, and well, we're already down to the function, but let's start working it out. So first things first, when you connect to the server, we need to verify that this connection doesn't already exist in this connected players. So we're going to say boolean already connected is equal to false. We're just going to default it to false, and we're going to do a loop, and we're going to do a player mp p in this dot connected players. Okay, so we're going to loop through all the connected players and check them. Now, if the player dot get username dot equals ignore case, ignore the warning that doesn't work because we'll fix that, is equal to ignore case to p dot get username, then we know that we're dealing with the same player regardless of their location. So we'll need to do something with that. So let's go and create this function. We don't want to create it in player MP, we want to create it in player. So let's go right down to the bottom here, and let's say public string get username, and return this dot username. Okay, so there's that. Just simple a getter. Okay, where were we? We were in the server. So now these should go away, and this isn't going away. Why isn't this going away? Oh, I spelt it wrong. User. Oops. Username. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Now we're going to update that data. So if we don't know the address and we don't know the port, we're going to update that. This is going to be client-sided. Essentially what we're going to do is in the game, you'll see that we have some commented out some right here to create the player and then to add the player and stuff like that. What we're going to do here instead is we're going to add it to the server right away if we know that this is from the server. And if it is from the server, then this is where this comes into play. We're just going to update some of the data so that we locally have a number of what our actual IP address is and what our port is. So we're going to say if p.ip address is equal to null, then we're going to say p.ip address is equal to player.ip. Oh my god, I cannot type today. Then we're going to say if p.port is equal to -1, then we're going to say p.port is equal to player.port. Okay? And then we're going to say already connected is equal to true. Because they're already in the game, we don't need to worry about them. Get rid of the space. And put a colon there, semicolon. Next what we need to do is we need to do an else. Because this is saying that the player is not in the game, so we need to update it to that player. We need to update the player. So we're going to say packet 00 login. Let's just call it login packet equal to new packet 00 login. P dot get username, and just close that. Wait, should I be doing this? Does this else need to be there? Okay, so this else is going to be if they're not already connected, if the players, if the p player value is not there. So we're going to say packet 00 login, login packet is equal to new packet 00 login, player.get username, login packet dot write data. We're going to say this, and actually no, I do want to send the data directly. So we're going to say send data login packet dot get data, and then p dot ip, p dot port. Okay. So this player does not exist in here, or the player is, no, never mind. I don't want to do this. Get rid of this. Don't worry about that. We can address that later if it's needed. Now we're just going to add them here. So if you're not connected, so already connected, then we're going to say this dot connected players dot add player. Okay. Now we need to deal with the actual packet as well. If you're not already connected, we need to do packet dot send. What is it? Packet dot write data. This. Typically, what we had before was we had that up here, but if they're not connected, we don't need to write back to the client saying that they're, like, we don't need to. Well, actually, we do. Okay, well, we'll send this directly as well, actually. What we're going to do is, just like this, sending it to the IP and the port, we actually will do this up here. We're going to say the login packet's right here, so we are going to say send data packet dot get data p dot ip p dot port. So if you're not connected, we're going to send the data to them saying we're connected. That's all that's doing. Yeah, that's right. Okay, so now we're going to go into the client, and we need to handle in the client. We need to handle the connection because right now we're not doing anything in the client. So we're going to comment this out. We're going to handle it similarly, how we did with the server here with this parse packet. So we can essentially copy that. I do want this in front of it though, so I know where that is. So let's copy this out into the client, and we'll put it above as well, just to be consistent. And that function does not exist, so let's create it, just like this one. Copy all this code, and we'll paste it. Just that single function, parse packet. Okay, so now we have the login. Yes, now we have the login packet there, and we're actually going to need to change some of this stuff. So this data is correct. Instead of saying has connected, because we want to know that they joined the game, so we're going to say has joined the game. Okay, and here we're going to say player MP is equal to new player game. That's all fine and dandy. And instead of adding the connection, we're going to say game.level.addEntity player. Okay, so that's going to join the game. That's what the game join is going to do. Next, let's go into the game class, because now we need to instantiate our original player. So the original time that the player joins the game, we need to instantiate that. So how we're going to do that is we're going to uncomment all this code. And instead of player being an instance of player, it's going to be an instance of player MP. It's going to take the level. We'll start it out at 100 and 100 again. The input, the username, and null and -1. This is where what's going on here? Oh, it's not imported. The null and -1 is where this came into effect here. This is just going to update the data client-sided. So if the client does connect to the server, it's going to set the IP address to 127.0.0.1 and the port to whatever port we're using, which would be this one. So that's all that's doing, just so we have a maintain of data on the client side. Level.addEntity player. Yeah, we do want that. We're going to say if socket server is not equal to null. So if we are running the socket client-sided, we're going to say socket server dot add connection. And of course I didn't make that public. Player MP player. Oops. Player. There. So that'll add the connection. Let's go make that public right now, quick. Where is it? Where did you go? Here. Make it public. There's that. Come on. Add connection. Oh, it needs to take the packet 00 login. I don't know if I like that because... You know what? Let's just keep it. Let's keep it. Instead of here, instead of JOption pane, we're going to do player.getUsername. And send the packet along as well. and then down here, login packet.write data client. And we can uncomment this one because it's not needed. Okay, so let's try this. Hopefully it works. We may need to run through things and debug things a little bit, but that's fine. And our name is Van Zeeben. So Van Zeeben's connected. It didn't say Van Zeeben's joined the game, so we do need to check something out here. Add connection, login packet. Okay. Where is it? Game server. Add connection, send data. So if player.get username Actually, this is working exactly as it should be. I just I just realized this. It should be doing this. This is not a debug thing. Funny me. We don't want to relay back to our own client that we've connected from our client, because that doesn't make sense. I don't know why I was debugging this. So let's run a client. Sorry about that. Let's run a server here, and let's name ourselves Van Zeeben. And let's just move over a bit. Let's run another server and see what's going on there. So Van Zeeben's connected in the one, and remember last time when we ran a second server, they crashed because we were both running the server, or there were two clients. So we're not going to do that. We're going to say John, and it crashed. Okay, John is connected, and John's joined the game, so that's good. It's saying from locally, John joined, so that is good. Oh, but input's null. Okay, so what's going on here is you will see John there, and you should see, no, this one's crashed. So this one's still actively running, okay, but there is no, yeah, there is input. And this one isn't, because John, who just joined the game, doesn't have input. So that's what that error is. So we're going to fix that really fast. Go into the player, actually I'm right in the function, and just say if input is equal to null, or not equal to null rather, then do this. Otherwise do that. Okay, so let's get rid of this debug stuff here, and let's run it once. And yes, run the server. My name is Van Zeeben. Bam, there we go, we joined the game. Run it again. And the second time that we run it, whenever it opens up, here we go. There's that. Do we run a server? No. My name is John. John. Here's John in this game, and here's Van Zeeben in this game. Now, you see John's joined the game and John's connected all in one. It does it in this one, but we don't see Van Zeeben here. So what we got to do when a client connects is we're going to return a response. So actually, I'm going to separate that into the next part, because right now we did have what we did want. We clean this up a little bit, and I think this episode's getting a little long here. It's about 21 minutes. Actually, you know what? We got time. We got time. We got loads of time. Let's do this quickly. It shouldn't take more than 10 minutes. So what happens? They connect. Now we need to return a response saying once the player is connected, we need to send data to the other client saying, hey, we got a new person here. So how we're going to do that is when somebody connects to the server, we go add connection, good. And in here, already connected is true. So we're going to send it back to this guy saying, hey, guess what? We got other players here, I think. Yes. So if the player.get username is equal to player, otherwise send data to that player. We'll need to update this guy right here that these guys are here. So what we will do is we will say send data. No, we'll create a new login packet. So do we need packet anymore? No, we don't. So we will say packet is equal to new packet 00 login, and then we will say p.getUsername, because this is the internal players now, and then we're going to return that data to this client. So we're going to say send data packet.getData, and then player.IP address and player.port. Okay, so we're going to run it once. I am going to be writing some comments in here because comments are necessary for this kind of thing, and like, what is this doing? What is this doing? We do need to know a little bit. I typically don't write comments on everything because, well, what does add connection function do? Well, it adds connections. I believe that if you do label things correctly, you don't really need to add comments for certain things, but for stuff like this we do need to, because this is kind of the logic can be taken a couple different ways, and we don't need to know that. So let's run a second instance of the game here, and we're going to call you Ryan. So now you'll see in this one, if I click in, we have Van Zeeben in here, and Van Zeeben can walk around. And in this one, we are using Ryan, and Ryan can come in, and Ryan can walk around. So that is very, very lovely. I'm glad that's done. Yeah. Let's also check into the actual server here. So in the original client, let's see what the server was saying. This button right here will switch between instances. You can click a little down arrow and see which instances there are, the consoles, if you didn't know that. So you'll see Van Zeeben's connected, good. And then Ryan's connected, and Ryan has joined the game. And this is saying, yeah, locally. So that's good, because this is from the server right now. That's where the server is. So everything's perfect, and everything's working well right now. That's been this episode. It's getting a little long here, so I will end this. Next episode, we will add the disconnect packet. I just wanted to get this in here because this is there was flawed logic in the last episode that really shouldn't have been there. But yes, disconnect packet next episode, because when you just disconnect, it's not really, like if Ryan disconnects here, oh look, he's still in the game over here, and that shouldn't be happening, so we need to update that a little bit. So we'll do that next episode. So take it easy, and I will see you guys next time.